Okay. I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know if you see my screen. Yes, I think you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
My name is Swamy. I'm teaching UA technologies in this DURGASOFT. In this teaching field, I have around 12 years of experience, and I'm also working with these front-end technologies, React and Angular. Okay. Yeah. So in this demonstration class, I'm going to brief you what is React.js and what the advantages we have in this React.js and where we are using this React. Okay, these concepts I'm discussing it here. Now, first of all, if we observe this, yeah, 1 second. React.js. So what is React.js? It is an open source client-side script. Yes. So first of all, what is client-side script and what is server-side script? Okay. So these points we are discussing. If you take any website, to develop this website, we have two phases. For the first phase, design. Second one is, yes, want to develop the website, we have two phases. One is design phase, another one is coding phase. In this design, we can create user interfaces. In the design phase, we are creating the user interfaces. Yeah. User interface means what is that? Nothing but the front page which we are displaying to end user. For example, registration page, login page, like that we have different types of user interfaces. These user interfaces we are creating by using the technologies like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, etc. So these are the technologies which we are using to create the user interfaces. Yes. And next one, coding. Yes, in this coding point of view, we have two types of scriptings here. First one is client-side script. Second one is server-side script. To implement the logics, we have two types of scripts here. So what the first one? Client-side script. Yes. So in coding point of view, first one is client-side script. Okay. Script executes in browser. Comes under. Okay. Script execution browser comes under, get a bit. Client-side script. Next one, server-side script. So here it is executing in web server. Yes. Coding point of we have these two types here. One is client-side script. Another one is server-side script. Client-side script means the script which is executing in client's browser. It comes under client-side script. Server-side script means which executes in web server. It comes under server-side script. Like that, we have these two types of scriptings here. First one is client-side script. Second one is server-side script. Now, examples for the client-side scripts. If you take here JavaScript and next level technologies of JavaScript like React, Angular, all this comes under client-side scripts. If you take server-side scripts, what are the server-side technologies we have? Yes, ASP, PHP, JSP, all these technologies comes under server-side scripts. Like that, if you take any web application, we have two phases. One is design phase, another one is coding phase. In design phase, we are creating user interfaces, and in coding phase, we are implementing the logics. So now if you take React.js, okay, in coding phase, we have two types of scripting I told you. One is client-side script, another one is server-side script. Now, if you take this React.js is client-side script. Okay. It is library of JavaScript. Yeah. Library means which is providing more functionalities to work with client-side programming. So that comes under library. It is the library of JavaScript. So now in which point of we are using this React? Yes. Yeah. To take React.js, this React.js we are using in many client-side functionalities. Before that, I will explain you where we use client-side scripts. That we need to discuss first. Yeah. So actually, server-side scripts, we don't do anything with the server-side scripts because here we are working with the client-side coding. Client-side coding means which is executing in browser. It comes under client-side script. So JavaScript and next level technologies of JavaScript like React, Angular, all this comes under client-side scripts. Now, what we can do with these client-side scripts that we are going to discuss. Okay, yeah. First of all, we are using client-side scripts to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. That's the first point. What is that? We can use this client-side scripts to apply the dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. Okay, yes. So by default, every HTML control is static control. You want to apply dynamic functionalities. So static means the properties of the control cannot change once it is loaded. That is static. So dynamic means the properties of control will change even after it is loaded. For example, one small program I'm creating here. Okay. Now, see, one simple HTML program I'm creating to show you that static and dynamic concept. So I have opened this edit place and saved this the desktop. Now demo.html. Now this body open tag and body closing tag. img source is equal to mango.jpg and width is equal to 100 pixels. Yes. This is image control. Source is equal to mango.jpg. Width is equal to 100 pixels. So in my desktop, I have Mango image that I'm displaying. So what is the file name I have given here? Demo.html. This is the file name. So let me open that file. Now this is the file which we created just now. So if I double click, it will open on browser because it is HTML program. Yes, now we can see it displays Mango image. It is static control or dynamic control? It is static control or dynamic control? This is static control. Means the properties of the control cannot change now. So what are the properties I have given in the design time? Those properties it is applied, width and SRC. Now this is runtime. In runtime, these properties will not change. Now my requirement is I want to change the properties of this control at runtime. For example, if I click on this control, what the source we have? Mango.jpg. That Mango I want to change as Apple. Okay, something like that. Then it is possible by using JavaScript. Yes, yeah. So simple code I am writing here. Don't try to understand this code. All these things we'll discuss with the React. Okay. So in my desktop, one more image is there, apple.jpg. So when I click on this image control, that original mango.jpg, that source I'm changing here. Now if I refresh, click on this, now it is changed to Apple. So in this point of view, I have taken the support of JavaScript. So you can use JavaScript or next level technologies of JavaScript like React, Angular, etc. Anyhow, these technologies, all client-side scripts we are using to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML content. In which point of view we are using these technologies to apply the dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. That is the main point of this. Is this clear? Yes. So 1 second. Yeah. So that is the main advantage of client-side script. And second point I'm discussing with you, yes, to validate input. This is a common point, all of you know. Want to validate the input context like text box is empty or not, password retype, password matching or not, email ID format is correct or not. These type of validations we can do. Next one, to execute logics in browser. See, I told you client-side script is executing in browser, server-side script is executing web server. Who is using browser? The end user who is accessing our web application. So that person is using browser. For example, you want to open facebook.com. So first you are opening that browser like Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox or any other browser. In that browser, we are typing facebook.com, right? Then what is happening here? That Facebook website is loading into your browser, and that Facebook contains any client-side script that is executing in your browser. Like that client-side script is executing in client's browser and server-side script is executing in web server. Client means don't think the person who is giving money to project, develop the project. Client means who is client? The person who is using our web application, that person we are calling as client. Okay, yes. Now here, which script result client can see immediately? Client-side script or server-side script? Obviously, it is client-side script because it is executing in his system only. So that's why he can see the result very fast. For example, you want to implement a calculator program. So that calculator program you can develop by using either client-side script or server-side script. But what the benefit if you develop by using client-side script? The script is executing in browser, so user can immediately see the result of these calculations. If it is server-side script, then the request is going to the server, response is coming back. So like that, for every operation, one request is going to the server and response is coming back. So for this request and response process, it is taking some time. So that's why the client-side script execution is very faster than server-side script. The result of client-side script is very faster. Due to this reason, most of the logics in applications, they're using client-side script for development. Okay, yes. So to execute some logics in browser. Next one, to work with Ajax. So Ajax is very powerful technology. We are using Ajax to send a request to the server without submitting the web page. You want to work with Ajax, compulsory you should know the client-side logic. logics, the client-side script. Yes, in that point of view, we are using this one. Like that, these are the main advantages which we have here. Okay. Yeah. To apply dynamic functionalities and HTML controls, that's the first point. Next one, to validate the input controls. Next one, to execute logics in browser. And next one, to work with Ajax. Okay. So now there are many technologies I told you. JavaScript, that is very old technology. Okay. And the next related technologies are React, Angular, Vanilla JS, Backbone JS, like the different types of JavaScript related technologies are available. Now, these days, React and Angular, these technologies are playing very important role in this software front-end development as UI technologies. Now, what are the benefits we have in React.js compared with JavaScript? Okay, so just now we discussed what is client-side script and what type of functionalities we can implement by using client-side script. These points we discussed. Now we are discussing what are the benefits we have in React.js compared to JavaScript, because JavaScript is also one of the client-side scripts we have. But what are the more benefits we have in this JavaScript React.js compared with JavaScript? That point we are discussing now. So before that, till now we discussed some points. Any doubts, any queries you have, you can ask me now. Till now we have discussed some points. In these points, if you have any questions, you can ask. You can speak with me directly, or you can send the messages in chat window. So just I shared what is client-side script, what is server-side script, and what we can do with client-side scripts. Okay, these things we have discussed. Okay, so I guess all of you clear with these points, right? Okay, fine. Now come to this React.js. The basic history, if you take, yes. So Jordan Walkie, okay, Mr. Jordan Walkie implemented React.js in year 2013. Okay. Yes, we implemented Jordan Walkie. What the reason behind that implementation? Actually, he's one of the employees of Facebook organization, and he wanted to work with some chart functionalities. So for that, he implemented this React.js 2013, the basic version 1.0, 1.0. He implemented this version to work with the chart application of Facebook. Later, he added more functionalities and along with the other team members of Facebook, and they released it as open source client-side script. Later, many companies started working with this React.js. That is the main point of this. Okay. Yes. So Jordan Walkie implemented React.js in 2013, and it maintained Facebook Corporation. Who is maintaining this? Facebook Corporation. And the current version is 18 is there in this development phase. Okay. Yes. Now, if you take features of React, what are the features we have? Those features we're going to discuss now. Power JavaScript. Okay. What are the benefits we have if you compare with JavaScript? Those benefits we're discussing now. So definitely in interviews, they are asking some questions like, yeah, why should we go with React.js? Because already JavaScript is available. So what are the more benefits we have with this React.js? Okay, these type of questions they're asking. So that's why here, first we should know about these features of React.js. Okay, so now React supports data binding. This is one of the important feature which we have here. What is that? Data bind. Yeah, Ajax. Ajax I will discuss with you. Okay. So Ajax is one web technology to send a request to the server without submitting the web page. Generally, we want to connect with the server, we need to submit the page, right? Yeah. But when you take Ajax, okay, so without submitting the web page, we can send the request to the server. That is the main thing. So these days, Cricket Live Score, if you take these websites, for every 1 second or 2 seconds, so from server, the updated score information displaying on the browser means it is getting the updated score information. Means we need to send a continuous request to the server. So in that point of view, we don't work with the submit concept. What happens if you send the request with the complete page submission, huge amount of data will transfer between the browser and server, because if you submit the page, images and other controls, everything transferring to the server takes much time. So that's why we are working with Ajax concept. So Ajax means the page is not submitting, only the required information we can transfer between the browser and server. That is the main point. So we are discussing with the Ajax concepts. So the API services we want to access. Okay. We want to call the API services. In that point of view, I take the support of Ajax. I will discuss with you how to create the Ajax object and how to call the API services. Everything I will discuss with you. Okay, fine. Now here React supports data binding. What is the benefit of data binding here? Yes, we are using this data binding to bind a variable with HTML control. Yes, to bind a variable with HTML control. Is it clear? Yes. So now, for example, one variable is that value I want to display on the text box control. Then we are calling that variable on the text box. So then what happens if I call the variable on the text box, that value is displaying there. But if the variable is modified, again, I need to recall that variable every time. Whenever the variable is modifying, every time I need to call that variable and display on the text box. That is somewhat hectic process, means headache process to the programmer. So every time you want to call that variable, so that is something code we have to write. So for that, to avoid that issue, it is providing data binding. Data binding means what is that? See, for example, one variable is there, like serial number is equal to 100. This variable I want to display on the text box control. So here, not only the initial value, if the variable is modifying somewhere, so every time those updates I want to display on the text box. There no need to call this variable every time in the text box control. Simply we can bind that variable with this text box. Okay, we can bind that variable with this text box. Then what happens? This bind is nothing but one link between that variable and text box. So what is the use of this link? Every time it is observing the variable is updated or not. If it is updated, that updated value is displaying on the text box control. So initial value is 100. After some time, it is changed as 200. Okay, it is updated 200. Then immediately this link is there now. It is checking whether it is modified or not. If it is modified, then immediately here also it is modifying that value. Means as a programmer, you need not worry to get the modified values, updated values to display on the controls. That is the main point of this. Is it clear? So I will explain you how to work with this data binding. Next one here supports model view controller pattern. Yes, it is supporting the MVC pattern. What is MVC here? Model, view, and controller. What the advantage of this MVC? Yes, in structured way, we can develop the projects. Main purpose is reusability of code. Okay, so reusability of code. But in React, we can also use controller-based programming. So we are discussing how to work with the controller-based program. That is also one type of design pattern. So it is more flexible than this MVC pattern. So we will work on this control-based programming. Anyhow, these patterns are not available in JavaScript. Those are available in this React.js. Is it clear? Yes. Data binding. Okay. See here, for example, yeah, I will show you once again this diagram. See, I will explain that programs. We have two types of data bindings actually, one-way data binding and two-way data binding. I will explain that one. In my program, serial number is there. So a simple program I will show you in JavaScript only. See, I am saving this program. Yes. Demo 1.html. Yes, now you can see here. So I'm taking one variable, serial number 100. Now this variable value I want to display on one text box. Here, one text box I'm taking inside this body. So ID is equal to D1 argument. Now let me open this program. Now here in this program, it displays the text box control, right? Now my requirement is in this text box, I want to display the variable value. Yes, so for that we need to write some logic. So in this, yeah. In this function, something like on some code I'm writing. Don't try to understand this program. See the result. Now this code will call that variable and display on the text box. Now you can see. So here when I refresh, 100 is coming there. In case if it is modified from other location, okay. So if it is changed to 200, so that 200 will not display in the text box. Again, you need to call this function. Then only it will display the 200 in the text box. Is it clear? Like that, whenever the variable is updating, okay, so that updates will not display on the control. For example, you are executing some calculation backend, and with that calculation, the result again you are storing the serial number. Then the serial number from 100 to another value it is modifying. So that modified value immediately will it display here? No, still it displays 100 only. Again, you need to call the function to read the variable and display here. Like that every time we are calling that function. That is the procedure. Is it clear? But data binding means we don't write these kind of statements here. Okay. Simply this variable we are binding with the HTML control. For that, we are using expression. I will discuss that later. So what is the benefit of data binding? Without writing any external code, you can display the variable value on the HTML control, and not only displaying here, whenever this variable value is modifying, then automatically the HTML control also the value is updating. Means in the text box, it displays the updated value. That is the concept of data binding. How to work with this data binding, I will discuss with you. Okay. So data binding advantage is it reduces the burden to the programmer. So what it is doing for us, so it is observing the modifications of variables, and those modifications it is applying on the HTML controls. Okay, so frequently we are using update concept like table records update, like there are many updates we are using. In that point of it is very, very helpful for us. Clear? Yes. Next point, yeah, supports MVC pattern, model view controller pattern. Next one here, supports single page application. What is meaning of single page application? Yes, single page application means many people they're thinking, so only one page we have in this entire website. Okay, so don't feel like that. Single page application means what is that? Yeah, we have many pages. Okay, we have many pages, but the thing is, all these pages loading in first attempt only into the browser. Okay, yeah, I will show you a small diagram for more clarity. This is server, home page, next one about us, next one contact us. Like that we have different pages here. Okay, this is home. Yes, this is about us. And this is contact us. Now I'm client of that website. I open browser. When I send a request to the server, initially that server is giving home page to you. There we have hyperlinks for about us as well as contact us pages. When I click on the about us, then what is happening here? Yes, one more request is going to the server and the response is loading here. If I click on contact us, one more request is going to the server and the response is loading here. Every time what is happening, the request is going to the server and response is coming here. That's the procedure which we have. Okay, fine. Now, if we take single page means every time we are sending one request to the server, right? Every time we are sending one request to the server. So if we take single page application, what the benefit of this? Yes. In this single page application, we are creating one router object. I will explain you how to get the router object. So in that router object, all these templates we are binding. So when user sending the first request, then all these templates means this object is loading into the browser. There it is storing in the client's cache memory location like this. These pages. When user click on the about us, the page is loading from this cache memory location. Contact us, that page is coming from that cache memory location. Means next time onwards, user need not send request to the server. Is it clear? Because all these templates are initially loading into the client's memory location. Is it clear? So it increases the performance of application by decreasing network traffic. So it is very, very helpful for us, single page application. Because of the single page application, so this React, not only React, in Angular also we have the single page application. These technologies got much popular. Okay. So we are discussing some programs based on this. Next one. Supports many validators. Yes. So these validators we are using to validate the application. Text box controls everything here. So many predefined validators are available. Next one here supports virtual DOM. Yeah. See, this feature is not available in Angular also. Only React contains this virtual DOM concept. What is this virtual DOM we are discussing now? First of all, see what is DOM. Yeah. So you created one HTML program with some controls. So actually we are taking text box input. Okay. So one text box you are placing here. And next one image control. Like that this HTML page you design. When you load this page, then what is happening here? Yes. Some memory is allocating here. Yes, some memory is allocating here. So in that memory, we have some other objects like this. Yes, yeah. So here, this is for text box and this is for image. Like that, objects are creating in this memory location. This is for image like that. So this memory location we're calling as DOM. So now based on this DOM only, the result is coming in the browser. Okay, based on this DOM only, the result is coming. Means for this HTML page, DOM is creating. So based on this DOM, the result is coming in this browser. Is it clear? Yes. So in this browser, it displays, so text box control, image control like this. Now, if I do any modification in this text box, if I change the data like that, then what is happening every time when you modify it, this DOM is updating. So updating means not only this control, all controls are updating here. Means DOM is recreating. So if you modify any control in the browser, then the DOM is recreating. So this recreation process is somewhat slow process because I modified one control, one text box or radio button, some control, one control I modified here. Then if it is updating only that control, the patchwork, that is very helpful to me. But what is happening, this entire DOM is recreating. So that is the traditional general way. That is the normal, not normal. This is the traditional procedure of the DOM manipulation. So here the problem is every time DOM is recreating, it is taking some time. So that's why React is coming with one concept, that is virtual DOM. It is coming with that concept, virtual DOM. What the role of this virtual DOM? So virtual DOM is identifying the modifications. So what are the controls you're modifying? Those modifications, first it is identifying here. Only that modifications it is applying on the original DOM. Means original DOM will not update directly now from browser. So virtual DOM is coming in between our original DOM and browser. What the role of this virtual DOM? What are the modifications we are performing here? It is collecting those modifications. Only that patchwork it is applying on this original DOM. Because of this reason, at the time of updating the data in the controls, it may be table or text box or any other control, at the time of perform the modifications, React is very faster than other technologies. Is it clear? Like Angular, Vue.js, etc. Because we don't have this concept in other technologies, only in this React. Is it clear? So because of this virtual DOM, it is very, very flexible for us. Okay, I will show you this practically. Okay, so right now, just what is virtual DOM, that overview I have given. Okay, so anyhow, for every HTML page, one object is creating in memory. That object we are calling as DOM. Okay, so based on this DOM, it displays the result on the browser. If you modify any control in the browser, every time the DOM is recreating. Only for single modification also DOM is recreating, entire DOM is recreating. But that is not useful for us. Okay, only that control if modify, so it is very helpful for us. The performance is speed, but here entire DOM is recreating. So that is time taking process. That's why they introduced this virtual DOM. The virtual DOM main role is what are the modifications you are performing. It may be one controller, two controls, or three controls. Only those modifications it is applying on the original DOM. That is the concept of this. Is it clear? Yeah. So again, I will explain to you with the application here. So to start any application, first we need to import the libraries, everything here. Okay, then I will explain to you. Okay, fine. Modification of control means changing any property of the control. It may be value, text, or any other property like width property of control. Okay, or next one, style properties of the controls, any property of the control. That is modification. Okay, yeah. Yeah, through the code we can modify at runtime. Okay, yes. Now, next one here supports many services. Okay, I will explain you what are the services we have. Services we are using in functional point of view. So in JavaScript, you want to perform any task. Okay, so we need to write number of lines coding. But in React.js, so many services, predefined services are available. Directly we can use these services here. Okay, supports many services here. Okay, next one. Supports React Native to work with cross mobile applications. Yes. So React Native is one technology. Okay. Yes. This React Native is for mobile application development. Coding is a React coding only. But to display mobile views, we are using package, some functionalities are native package. So once you clear with this React JS, later you can go with the React Native also. What is the benefit of React Native? Yes, cross mobile application apps we can develop. For example, Android mobile, if you take to work with this Android, okay, we are using Android technology. iPhone, you want to implement any iPhone app, iOS we are using. Okay, like that for every mobile that related app, the technology we are using. But phone gap, one technology is available. If you develop any app using phone gap, then that app supports Android phone, iOS phone, like that every mobile device. Is it clear? In the same way, React Native is also available. So this React Native advantage is only one app supports many technologies. Okay, so you can develop only single app. That app will run under Android mobile, okay, and iOS and Apple. Sorry, what is that? Microsoft, okay, and different mobiles we have. So that app is running under all these mobiles. That is cross mobile application. Means no need to develop so individual apps for different mobiles. Okay, only one common app runs under any type of mobile. So that support is very high here. So React Native supports cross mobile applications. Next one here is supports Redux. Okay, yeah. Redux concept is there. This is state container. You want to maintain the state of application. So for that, we are using some objects like cookies, sessions, etc. But this Redux is very powerful technology. So that Redux it is supporting for us. Okay, it supports Redux concept. So I will explain you what is state management and how to work with this Redux. Everything we can discuss here. The main thing is simple coding. Yes, the coding is very, very simple and very flexible. That is the main advantage. Okay, if you take React JS, the React JS coding is very, very simple coding. Like that, these are main advantages we have compared with JavaScript. Is it clear? Yes. So due to these advantages, we are working with this React JS these days. So it is very flexible to develop the application. Okay, and many features are available. So it is library of JavaScript, means it is providing the pre-implemented functionalities to work with this. Yes, yeah. So this is the main concept of this. We discussed what is React JS, what is client-side script, and what are the advantages and basic history of React JS. Now, what are the supporting technologies required to learn this React JS? Yes. So here I told you one point, React is the library of JavaScript. That's why here JavaScript is mandatory for us. Yes. So once we know the JavaScript, then we can work with the React JS. So coding is very similar to JavaScript coding. It is providing pre-implemented functionalities. That's why JavaScript is very, very mandatory for us. Okay. Yeah, you people don't have idea on the JavaScript. I know that. That's why here, first time starting with JavaScript concepts. So here JavaScript, some people may have idea on this JavaScript, but basic JavaScript is not required here. Advanced JavaScript is very, very important. Advanced JavaScript means clauses. Okay. Next one here, asynchronous programming and hoisting. Okay. Binding functions, event bubbling. Yes, promise object, like that, object oriented programming. Okay, JSON format objects, like that. Advanced JavaScript concepts are very, very mandatory for us. That's why first of all I'm discussing the advanced JavaScript concepts here along with the basic JavaScript concepts. Once the JavaScript is completed, then only we are starting the React JS. So that's why even if you don't know JavaScript, no need to worry, because we are starting with JavaScript. Yes, before JavaScript, I will give you basic information about HTML tags, very basic information. Only one session is enough for us. Okay, after that, I will start the JavaScript. JavaScript, we are spending up to 20 days. Is it clear? Yes, after that, I am starting the React JS concepts. The React JS, we are discussing all these features which we have. Okay, everything we are discussing here. Along with there, some more features are there. All these features we're discussing, and we are also discussing how to work with this binding the CSS styles and how to bind the bootstrap. Okay, and how to connect with the API services. Okay, server calls. Okay, and here DB interaction, DB interaction, database interaction, and next one here. So CRUD operations. Okay, these type of all concepts we're discussing here. Yes, yeah. For example, Java. Okay, in Java, one API service you created. How to call from front end by using React JS. We're discussing that one. Like that .NET API service, how to call. Node API service. How to perform the CRUD operations in front end. I want to work with this edit, delete these functionalities with the database. How to work with that. And Bootstrap, I want to create the styling. Okay, I want to apply styles on my application. How to integrate the Bootstrap. All these concepts we are discussing here. Is it clear? Yes. We are discussing project point of view. Okay. So just where we are using these concepts with the use cases we are discussing. And next one, total duration, it will take 60 classes here. Okay. So around 60 classes. We are 60 hours we are spending here. So in that 60 hours, we are covering all these topics. Okay. So in front office, they're telling you 45 hours like that. So it is not possible to finish with 45 hours. That's why 60 hours. It may extend up to 1 week. Okay. Not less than 60 hours. Maybe sometimes, okay, 1 week extra time you can estimate for that extension here. Okay. Yes. So mostly I will try to cover in 60 hours. Okay, sometimes it is extending based on the flow of discussion. Okay. Yes. This is the pattern and your timings are 6 to 7 or sorry 7 to 8. Okay. So this is our regular timing only 7 to 8. Okay. Yes. Now, do you have any queries? And moreover, we are providing the everyday material I'm uploading in Drive. You can directly download from Drive and providing videos also every day. So maybe not possible every day to give the videos, at least 2 days once like that. I will share the videos with you. Okay. You can go to that video recording sessions also. Okay. Yes. Yes, it is not that much required that CSS for you. Okay. I told you exercise material, daily class programs, notes, everything I will upload in Drive. You can download. Okay. And along with that video sessions also, right? Yeah. Next. So initial starting 4 classes, I will take up to 45 to 50 minutes. After that 1 hour session, okay, 7 to 8. Schedule time is same, no doubt. Yeah, framework and library means the framework is providing a structure to design the applications. Inside the structure, we are writing the logics. Library is not providing the structure. Okay, so directly it is providing some functionalities with the help of JavaScript. Here we are using JavaScript like that. The base technology, with the help of that base technology, we are calling that library. Is it clear? Yes. So Angular is framework. By default, it is providing one structure for us to implement the logics. Okay. Yes. Library means functionalities are available. We can call these functionalities through JavaScript. That's why I told you prerequisite is JavaScript here. Okay. Yes. Next. Any more queries we have? Okay. Node is server-side script. Okay, it is based on JavaScript only, but executes in server to work with the server functionalities like connecting the server database and operating the sessions, etc. etc. In that point of getting the support and node. I told you server-side integrations we're discussing. See, React and Angular both has good boom, and React also has huge jobs. Okay, and because the reason behind this huge jobs, okay, already JavaScript programmers, we have many programs in the companies. So the next level technology React for this, they can easily migrate to React. If you take Angular, okay, so TypeScript is required for that. Okay, that is the main. React Native is mobile application development, mobile apps you want to develop, then we are using React Native. We don't discuss the React Native concepts. Okay. Only this is React Web Application Development. Discuss. Next. Fine. In tomorrow class, I told you Redux is compulsory for us. I will explain that. Okay. So it is state container, very good state container. I will discuss with you. Yes, yeah. Sure, definitely I will show you that. Topic is not same. Tomorrow I will start that HTML, okay, basic things, everything. And after that, I will start the JavaScript. So no repeated classes here, okay. Demo means I don't repeat the same class up to 1 week like that. Fine. See, in tomorrow's session, I will discuss the basic things of HTML, which you don't know. Okay, then I will discuss. Okay, so yeah, daily we have classes up to Saturday, Sundays, holiday, and first Saturday also we don't have class. Means day after tomorrow we don't have class. Only first Saturday, not every Saturday. Batch first Saturday we don't have class. Okay, remaining weeks Monday to Saturday. Okay, fine. See you in tomorrow class. You can leave now. Thank you.